you all, the brave never fall. I'm a bit under the weather today, and I guess that fits into this podcast, at least the topic of it, because we're talking about strengthening your mind and going into your mind and figuring out pretty much how your mind connects to that essence in you that defines and determines just how tough and how resilient you are through adverse situations and situations that seem like they could be extremely overwhelming. And it's something as any human being will face. I don't care how much training you get or how many skills you've acquired in dealing with life. Life happens and you're going to have to deal with it. And for me personally, the easiest way to deal with that is the mind. Now, again, I'm under the weather today. I still got up and made no excuses. And I think that is so healthy, especially for someone who didn't used to be this way. And I'm sure you can identify and understand this as well. I don't care what you've been through. Today, you are much stronger than you have been in the past, simply because you are experienced one way or the other. It doesn't matter if it was a good experience or a bad experience, positive or negative. You failed, you succeeded. It doesn't matter. You're still experienced in whatever you experienced. And that made you stronger. Regardless of how strong you think you got or how fast it happened or why it happened, you got stronger from that experience. The question is, what do you do about it? For me, mentally, you have to remind yourself mentally that you have gone through these things. That's a simple reminder, and it needs to be daily if you can. You have to constantly be reminding yourself, years ago, days ago, weeks ago, would I still be as strong today as I was back in the past? And again, that could be as early as yesterday or it could be years ago. You have to remind yourself that you are a different person. There's no better time than now to explore the strength of your mind. And I say that all the time. There is never a better moment than in the present moment. The moment you just let get away a moment ago. And a moment that's about to come towards you now. Take those moments and explore your mind. Take time to explore the strength you have in your mind. Your mind can confuse you. It is not your friend at all times. It definitely feels like your enemy at the worst times. There's nothing worse when you want your mind to shut off and it just won't. You want it to be quiet and it just won't. You want it to stop pounding. That migraine, the stress, the anxiety, all that stuff just piles up. Nothing wrong with dealing with them. In fact, deal with them hard. I say you take that pain, you take those struggles, you take that headache, you take that migraine, you take all the worries, the endless loop in your brain, the stories you tell yourself. Take all those things. Take them. They will not last forever. So you might as well take them and get something from them. Pain is a gift. It is a gift. But it's only a gift if you know how to take that gift and do something with it. It's not a gift if you take that pain and just sit it on a shelf and walk away from it and say, I'm glad that's over. No, turn around, go back and re-examine that gift. Open up the box. What did those moments give you? In most cases, if nothing else, what you get out of that box is strength, mental strength, because you just went through something. And you didn't just walk away. You turned around and you wanted to see what was in that box. What is it that was making you so troubled? Making you feel worthless, making you feel like you failed, making you doubt yourself. What was it that gave you so much anxiety? How come you haven't done anything about your migraine? How come you haven't done anything about the headaches? What's causing them? There are answers to every one of those questions that only the person who opens those boxes can answer. Are you one of those people? If someone walked up to you and placed a box in front of you and said, this is your pain from the last week, the last month, the last year, open it. Let's see what you have. Let's put it all out on the table. Would you be shocked what is in the box? If you're shocked about what's in the box, that means you haven't been aware of yourself enough to be predisposed about what could possibly be in that box. If you have no idea, if someone was to walk up to you and set a box in front of you and say, open it, let's see what you have, you should have some idea what's in that box before you even open it. And if you don't, you do not value yourself enough. You do not have enough self-love, and you for certain don't have enough discipline. That doesn't make you a bad person. That just makes you an unaware person. What a lot of people say, you're not woke. I say it's time to get woke. I say it's time for you to go and find that box with your name on it and walk towards it. And before you open it, ask yourself a question. An honest question that only you can give the answer to. And that is, I wonder what's in this box, but I can almost 100% for certain guess the majority of things that are in this box. The next challenge is to open it, right? Once you open it and you start examining all the pieces, all the things that you are or you were, hopefully, if you can move on from it, because a lot of times opening the box, you're deciding right then and there that whatever is in that box is no longer your future. It's not even your present, it's the past. And you can decide right then and there, no matter what's in this box before I open it, I'm going to be a better person moving forward, no matter what, because I'm already predisposed about what may be in this box. I'm aware of what's in this box. I just want to face it. I just want to open this box up and I want to remind myself right now who I was. All the things in this box are not bad. There are going to be things I want to keep. There are bad memories that I want to keep. There are good memories I want to keep. There are failures. There are victories that I would like to sort through. Because I want to create the person that will be the best version of me. I can see that person. And it won't just be one box. Some boxes will be 8 feet tall. Some boxes will be 20. Some boxes will be half a foot. It's life. You don't get to pick and choose what's in that box, the size of it. Life is going to try to choose that for you. Your job, your responsibility is don't get the 20-foot box. That means you haven't been looking in the boxes that much. You want a box that's comfortable. A box you can pick up and handle and you can put on the table and comfortably open it up, put out all the pieces and examine what is actually going on in my life. What are the pieces I want to keep to create myself, and what are the pieces I want to purge so I can successfully create what I need without all the distractions from all the pieces that are giving me so much doubt and pain and worry. It's okay to have them, but you shouldn't hold on to them forever. Examine them, and the ones that are bad, you learn something from them. You keep the ones that you feel like they're a part of you to a point where that pain is going to be needed in the future. The smaller ones where, not so much of a big deal, you can purge those. Put the rest of them back in the box. If they don't fit in the box, then you're going to have to find some stuff that's going to have to go. Simple as that. You can't fit everything into the box. Depending on the size of your box, you can't overwhelm it. You don't want the seams bursting. You just want to keep the stuff that's going to actually benefit your life. Give you the best opportunity to create the puzzle of who you should be. So are you making excuses for yourself not to walk towards that box? Why aren't you predisposed to what may be in that box? And what are you going to do about it? A lot of the questions you ask yourself don't always have to have immediate answers. Sometimes they don't need answers at all. Sometimes you can answer those questions with actions. Instead of talking and thinking and putting more stuff in your mind, it's healthy to put things in place that are actually things that you can do physically that will answer those questions for you. And you're going to feel so much better for it because you're giving your mind a break. Your body is what's going to do it, which is why I always recommend people exercise. Go for long walks. When your mind starts to get cloudy, when things happen, when you feel like you don't want to get up, those are the times I always say, get up. I have recently pushed the envelope with myself, trying to make sure that I don't get stagnant. And it's a very important thing. And I would hope that if you're listening to this, you don't do the same thing for yourself. Don't get to a point where you're flatlining in life. Always try to add something in there that you're unsure about. Not something painful. It doesn't always have to be pain and things that will cause you more stress. I often like to do that to myself, but everyone's not like me, and I'm not like a lot of other people who are 20 times worse than that than I am. I like a physical challenge. I like to be able to wake up and know that at any point in the day, I can physically exert myself to the point of accomplishment where I can say, look how tired I am when I go to bed. I'm not sick. I'm not, pissed off. There's nothing that happened throughout the day that forced me to do something I didn't want to do. There's no person that would ever get me to do that. I'm making the decisions to do that to myself. I want to go to bed exhausted. I love that feeling because I know I did everything I wanted to do. I'm not going to bed exhausted because a bunch of other people told me I need to do this and this and this. I'm my own person. Nobody gets me to a point where I'm exhausted. The only person that can exhaust me is me. And I feel like that is one thing that is heavy with strengthening your mind. It goes back to your heart. You have to understand that in life, the strength comes throughout the entire body. It flows throughout the entire body. But I feel like the mind is the one thing that would disconnect all that. It's like the light switch. If you turn off your mind and you let your mind win, quote unquote win, you're going to fail at the rest of your body because there's no strength there. You can build up your muscles. You can run 1,000 miles. It doesn't matter. If your mind decides in any particular moment, it wants you to quit. It prefers you to not eat as healthy. It prefers you to bring on bad habits. It's going to win because you cannot shut it off a lot of times. And most of the times we can. And you will succumb to the pressure of your own mind. And you would start thinking, this is ridiculous. Why can't I stop thinking about this? And it's because the mind wants you to, which is why you have to distract yourself from it. Which again is why I say physical exertion is one of the best things to do to shut the mind off. You want to cure anxiety? Go for a long, long walk. I guarantee you'll feel a lot better when you get back. Because your brain will start having things to think about. Do things that your brain is not so accustomed to getting set into a pattern. And I feel like that's another thing. We get caught as human beings in these patterns. And it allows the mind to get stuck in a rhythm. And you just fall right in place with it. Your whole body will just fall into that rhythm. And you don't realize just how bad it is for your being, you as a person. You could take that same rhythm and pattern and put it on someone else and they will probably be unaffected by it, or that same pattern might break somebody down. But for your particular pattern, your particular rhythm, it's very easy to get into a rhythm of comfort and contentment, to fall out of discipline, to fall out of good routines, out of healthy habits, out of healthy boundaries you set for yourself. It's very easy to fall into a pattern of, this is comfortable, this feels good, I've been doing it like this for so long, why change now? It's very hard to get out of that pattern, that rhythm. I've been there. One of the hardest things for me as a person to get out of was excuses that built upon excuses. You start with one excuse, and then you just take a ladder and you just build another one. And then you walk up that ladder and you build another one. And for me, it was a whole host of things that just kind of got jumbled up into a big ball of Play-Doh. It could be ripped apart into little smaller pieces, but for the most part, I was just taking the Play-Doh and just shoving it into a giant ball. I didn't know what I was. I was creating something out of that dough that was just unrecognizable. I was going through a series of binge eating. I was drinking way too much because my mind was going through all these creative thoughts and things that I wanted to do, and then I was trying to be a great husband and a good father, and then I was trying to rise up at work, but the stress was killing me, and I wanted to be a leader, but at the same time, I wanted to be lazy. I just wanted to sit on my butt, but I wanted to be fit. And then you just see that right there. It's psychotic. I was so out of control, just didn't know how to slow down. And if I could go back in time and give myself any advice, it would be, okay, brother, why don't you slow down, take a deep breath, go outside, and just go for a long walk. Let's just start with that. Come back in. Let's write down 3 goals that you can hit this week that'll make you feel better. And let's find out right now what's the one thing, if you could change in this moment, that would make you instantly feel better and not feel so stressed out about one thing. Just pick one thing. Now go do it. If somebody had told me that right then, in those moments where I was having those moments for years, I would have been a changed man a decade ago. And a lot of other people in my life would have been probably benefiting from that a lot better than me figuring that out right now. Problem is, I can't go back and change that person. I can only deal with the person I deal with right now. The person I see in the mirror every day is the only person I can deal with, because he's the person I see in the moment. And the same applies to you. Whatever has happened to you in the past, no matter how discombobulated you were, no matter how weak you thought and believed you were, you are not that person now. That is no longer an excuse for you. That box is sitting on that table. Draw up the courage. Tell your mind, hold up 1 second. Let me have a moment, please. Thank you. Walk over to the table. Open up that box and deal with whatever is in it. That right there is a first step in strengthening your mind. You have to take time to explore it. You take all the time you need. There may be multiple boxes. It may look overwhelming. It's your life. There is no degree of overwhelming when it comes to your life. Strengthen your mind. Be aware of it. That's the only way you're going to continue to grow. If no one else has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall.